Hey guys, morning. It's Ming here. It's currently 2:53 a.m. here in the Philippines, and we're gonna be discussing on a interesting project that I'm currently working on or testing out. So this is gonna be called Action Model AI. I'll be discussing what's the pros, the cons, and who should or shouldn't care about the project. So before we start, just a quick note, if you want to keep track of all my trades, market analysis, and airdrop projects I'm personally testing or researching, make sure to check the links below and follow me there. That's where I share updates in real time. So now let's talk about today's project, Action Model AI. And I want to be very clear from the very start that this video is not an endorsement. This is purely educational. I'm sharing what I'm looking into so you can decide for yourself as well. So this is part one of two-part series, by the way. In part one, we'll talk about the project or what the project is about, the potential pros, the real risks, and who should and shouldn't even consider it. And in part two, I'll simply show you how the platform works and how the points are earned. No hype, no promises, just showing you what I'm doing. If you're only watching one video, part one is the important one, so don't miss this out. So, Action Model AI is an early stage project that combines AI, user actions, a point system, mainly through a Chrome extension. The idea here is that users perform certain actions, earn points, and the community is speculating, again, speculating, that these points may matter in the future. And I want to stress this very early, points do not equal money. There is no confirmed token yet, there is no confirmed airdrop. Right now, this is an experimental early stage project. So why are people paying attention to this project? So let's start with the why are or people are even considering this project or looking into this. So the potential upside of a project here is that possible reasons that people are even considering because they find this interesting. Even I find this interesting, but it's not guaranteed to give you rewards. It's early stage, and early projects sometimes, not always, reward early users. One of the, I think, amazing example of early projects that didn't really say they will have an airdrop, I think, is Arbitrum, Grass. I can still name a few, but you know what I mean. And especially that it's tied to AI, which is obviously right now is a hot sector. It uses what we call a point-based system, which we've seen before in past airdrops. You generate points, and eventually they get converted into actual tokens, and then of course you get profit. But not all the time. Again, this is not guaranteed, so take note of that. The barrier entry or the barrier to entry here is relatively low because so far there's no requirement to provide an upfront payment or cost or funding, and especially for people who just want to test out projects. Again, these are only reasons for curiosity and not reasons to blindly participate in the project. So, what are the risks and cons for this project? Now, again, these are all just based on research. I am not saying this is what's going to happen, so always do your own research as well. So, now let's talk about what actually matters, the risk. So, for me, the cons and risks here is you need to understand this part very clearly that one, there is no guarantee of any reward. Points may never convert to anything, and Chrome extensions require permissions, as all extensions do, and this is a real risk. So always review the extensions permissions before you install them. You'll find this on the installation page, which is just before you add it as a Chrome extension. So take note of that. If you don't know how to check, kindly use ChatGPT or Google to get a much clearer instruction. Early projects, so going back to the cons, early projects can, and most of the time, pivot or change its narrative, shut down, or change the entire rules completely. So what does that mean? Time spent does not equal future value. If you're expecting a guaranteed money, this is already the wrong mindset. As I mentioned earlier, there is no guaranteed airdrop yet. So who is this project for? You may consider watching or researching this project if you already understand airdrop farming. You're comfortable with testing tools in the early stages. You treat this as an optional experimentation, and you are fully okay with earning nothing. This should feel like curiosity and not an obligation for you to do because you're sure there's going to be money involved. As I mentioned earlier, there's nothing guaranteed yet. So, who should not consider this project? You should not consider this if you expect guaranteed profits, you're new to crypto and still learning the basics, or you do not understand browser permissions, especially when you feel pressured by the hype or what we call FOMO or fear of missing out. And you don't want to risk your time or data for something that's not yet guaranteed. And let me tell you, skipping a project is always okay and is a very smart decision. So, what's my personal take? So, personally, I stand here in the testing and observing phase, and I'm not committing. I'm documenting this so that I can share information, not to tell you what to do. If at any point this project shows red flags or I think it's not doing what it's supposed to be, I'll simply move on and I will definitely let you know. And that's very normal in Web3. So that's it. So overall, um, I think making your or doing your own research is highly important. If you think the pros and cons are in your favor or you agree, then feel free to review the project. What I'll cover in part two is how the platform looks, how navigation works, and how points are earned. No promises, nothing that saying you should do this, just a walkthrough. That way you can do a much more detailed observation and make a better decision whether you want to do this project or not. And just to repeat, if you want to keep track of all the trades I'm analyzing, my market insights, my signals, airdrop projects I'm testing or dropping, follow the links below. That's where I share all my updates first. And remember, always do your own research, protect your time, protect your capital, protect your data, and I'll see you in part two.